By the light of the sun, by the depth of the moon, by the flame of the wand, and by the pentacle of earth, I call upon the guides of wisdom, the ancestors of the craft, and the holy guardian angel. Guide us now through the stations of the dove and serpent. Reveal what is hidden, so we may transform it into light. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. In this reading, we walk the path of the dove and serpent spread, an 11-fold journey of transformation. Each position reveals a unique aspect of your journey, alternating between the essence of your being and the events that help to shape your destiny. Remember to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Knight of Wands. Right? This is a very fiery card. This is a card that is ready to jump into the moment, This is the first position. It's called the station. It reveals our sense of self, reveals our essential personality right now, something that might be preoccupying us. This is the way we sort of see ourselves right now. You're going with your gut. You're following your instinct, and I think that you are leaping into something new. You're leaping into whatever is coming next in your life, okay? And this is kind of an impulsive energy, okay? The Knight of Wands trusts in that instinct, trusts in the impulse, and is ready to take the leap, right? Rather than hesitating and pausing and saying, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I need to think about this more. Maybe I need to think things through a little bit. No, I feel like this is like, we trust it. The horse and the rider are one, right? And I feel that this is kind of the way we see ourselves right now. I'm taking a risk. I'm jumping in. I'm not hesitating. I'm stepping up to the plate. I'm suiting up. I'm showing up. And I'm all in. Okay? And this feels like kind of your personal style right now, right? And this is really like nothing's holding you back, right? We have to ask, like, what are we leaping into? What is it that we're so focused on now that we're ready to kind of put in the work, and we're ready to take that bold and very courageous leap forward? Okay. And is this a new energy for you? Is it something that, you've kind of always been this way? Or is this just like lately you've been feeling like, I'm just jumping in? Maybe, Gemini usually have kind of like the Eight of Swords is kind of your normal energy. You're kind of a classic overthinker. I feel like this card is saying, I'm not doing that. I'm not overthinking this. I'm just going with it. I feel that impulse. I feel that desire. I feel that passion and that motivation. I'm just going to start doing it. Okay? We got to put this card into a little bit of context. Now, Gemini, you are not here by accident. Okay? Here we have the intuition. We have the High Priestess. This message is meant for you. Here we have a Six of Cups. We have the Death card. We have a Seven of Wands. You have the Hermit. You're being guided by your intuition, by the light coming from inside of you, okay? We have the Magician. Oh, that's nice. We have the Star, too. Holy smokes. We have the Sun. Are we going to go 4 for 4 on the path of the Serpent? Oh, my gosh, yes. We should ring the bell for that. That is amazing. You have so many major arcana energies here. This is unbelievable. I don't think that I've seen this before. Your life is about to change in a major way. Things are getting infinitely complex for you. Things are getting infinitely better. This is a major change. This is a fated moment. Okay? And we haven't seen this before, this many major arcana energies. I think maybe a couple of years ago we had one reading where there was 10 major arcana energies in one reading. Every card was a major arcana card. I don't know if it was for Gemini, though. This is pretty good. Okay, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set that down right over here with our little octopus friend, the Eight of Pentacles, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, so, you do have to watch the video until the end, right? But that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Yeah. Now, let's look around the room here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 majors. And we've got, obviously, fire, fire, water. Okay? Fire, fire, water. And so this is extraordinary. Let's look at the second card. This is the position of the battle, right? The battlefield. Position 2 is the high priestess, right? This reveals kind of what our task or our quest is right now. And between these two, it really is about you trusting the guidance that you feel coming from wherever it is, spirit, from your conscience, from your instinct, your gut, your intuition, coming from someplace deep inside of you, some kind of unknown factor that's kind of pulling you in this direction, that's saying, come this way. Your good life is this way. Okay? And this is testing your strength, and it's testing your resolve here. Because usually, you're that classic overthinker. Guess what? You don't have any swords cards here at all. Right? We're not overthinking. We're trusting in the impulse. We're trusting that whatever is inspiring us right now is a pure and spiritual inspiration. We are filled with that divine energy right now. And we're taking a leap. We're jumping in. We're literally like jumping headfirst into something here. And so the high priestess is illuminating here where you need to do the work. And doing that work is trusting. Doing that work is allowing yourself to leap far away from the past and leap into the future, even if it seems like the future is a little bit scary, a little bit unknown. Okay? So how are you responding to this situation now? Well, you're not hesitating. You're not paralyzed by your thoughts or paralyzed by this over-analysis. You're not self-sabotaging. You're trusting your intuition. Okay? And, you're exhibiting a lot of courage right now and this willingness to change by jumping headfirst, right, into something new. Your life is about to change big time, right? Like I said, this is a fated moment and you're taking full advantage of it. Okay? So your challenge right now, your quest this week really seems to be trusting in your intuition. Knowing that there's something magical, something spiritual, something inspired inside of you, around you, whether it's an ancestor energy, a spirit guide, your conscience, your intuition, your gut feeling, whatever it is. Something is leading you forward like this, saying, come this way. I promise this is where you need to go. This is the good stuff coming this way, right? And you're not hesitating. You're trusting in it. Again, the horse and the rider are one unit. And so this is the trust, this is the bond between the horse and the rider. If the horse and the rider aren't trusting each other, guarantee you're going to fall off that horse. So you trust and you're moving forward, and I think it's going to be outstanding. This is really amazing. Position 3, down beneath the surface, is your 6 of Cups. Okay? It's the soul position, reveals some unconscious drives, reveals the emotional landscape that's kind of inside of you. It's like what your heart really wants, what your soul really wants right now. This is a card of deep spiritual pleasure, deep satisfaction, meaning, purpose, connection, community. The good stuff in life, right? Your hidden desires. I think you want connection. I think you want to find your tribe. I think that this is, as kind of like the hidden attitudes or hidden desires. This is about feeling good, about being able to feel good, to feel the joy, to experience the joy of life, no matter what's going on outside. It's kind of like up above the surface here, you have the 7 of Wands. We're fighting, but we're enjoying our life. That there is something blissful about being alive for you right now, right? And I think maybe this is kind of talking about the practical or the literal kind of things that your soul is desiring. And it feels like it's connection or community or family. Okay? And this might be those kind of hidden desires. What you really want is family. What you really want is to find your tribe, find your people, to be valued for who you are, not for what you can contribute, right? That you're being valued for your heart, and not necessarily for your mind or your body or your, not just for those things. That someone or something or really yourself, that you feel that you are valuable, that you are worth everything because of your heart, because of who you are as a person, as a spiritual being. Okay? So what is this part of you that's seeking expression? Well, I think that this is, well, for one thing, this is the card of romance, laughter, family, togetherness, community. Okay? And so it's kind of implying that, we may be feeling like there are things in our life that aren't valuing us for us. That maybe we feel at times, in turns, valued only for what we think, only for our mind, valued only for our body, only for our contribution to something. But, are we valued for just being who we are, for the love that we are, for the love that we have, and for the parts of us that we share? Because this is kind of like, this is almost unconditional love. This is the idea of that family, that we love each other just because. I don't love you because of what you can do for me. I love you because you're you. I love you because there's something in you that my heart recognizes, right? So this is a Three of Cups and a Three of Cups coming together. It could be that kind of a deep emotional connection and intimacy with a partner. It could be that feeling of family or friends that are just like really tight-knit. I want to feel like we belong somewhere. I want to feel that togetherness. Not because I bought my way in, not because there's something that I have to do in order to earn this, but just to feel like I'm loved pretty much unconditionally. Valued just for who we are, not for what we can do or what we can contribute, you see. And now, the fourth position is the dwarf position. It's because this is in the rearview mirror. And this is really a card of transformation. It's a card of major change, okay? I think that there's something that was started a long time ago that is now kind of reaching a critical point. The Death card is all about releasing things into the past and reclaiming the energy, recycling things. It's the way that physical matter has to sort of, has to deteriorate into the soil, and it nourishes the soil so that new things can grow. Okay, so there's this idea that we have to recycle the energies of our lives, yeah. And sometimes this is a card that is something that may be holding you back. Sometimes this is an inertial drag on your current situation. So there's something that, as this Knight of Wands is trying to leap into the future, there's something in you that's kind of tugging, some kind of an anchor that's holding you back to the past, something you've yet to let go of, something that we need to recycle. We need to allow it to perish, so that we can take those nutrients and take what we've learned and take that energy back and apply that to what we're leaping into now. Okay, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something that is kind of pulling on you. Okay, and it may be a loss. It may be a previous, maybe something that we're still in the process of grieving. We still feel as if we're still kind of mourning something that is no longer here in our lives. Okay. It may be that this was a very talking about a relationship with a person that may have been a very close person to you, and maybe they have passed into spirit. And this is kind of like, this is something that if we linger here too long, it's going to prevent us from moving forward. Moving forward is sort of taking a leap into whatever's coming next. The fact that we want this intimacy, this closeness and togetherness, it may be implying that we don't have it right now. Well, why don't we have it? Did we have it at one time and now it's not here? Okay, we've got to trust in spirit that it's okay to let this go, to release this energy, to release this event, so that we can reclaim the energy and we can go and we can have the good life, and we can find our person or our people or our tribe. And we can find, that energy or that situation that's going to make us feel valuable, and it's going to give us kind of maybe a sense of purpose, right? But we don't want to linger here too long. I think it's Spirit's way of saying that, look, things need to change. This is something that could really drag us down if we let it. Okay, we don't want to limit ourselves because of this. Feels like a loss of some kind. Okay, let's talk about position 5, the Giant. It reveals your driving force, your dominant motivation, the personal virtue that you need right now in order to go forward. And this is courage. This is fight. This is saying, I'm not going to just give up, because that Death card may be something painful has happened, right? There was a loss, or something that we cherished is no longer here with us. But I'm not going to let that get me down. That I'm going to fight back. I'm going to push back against that energy. I'm going to push forward. 7 of Wands is kind of a David and Goliath card. It's saying, I'm not going to give up. I deserve this. I trust that this is the way forward. I trust that everything happens for a reason, and that I'm meant to go forward and get, you've got so much major arcana on this side here. It's kind of like once we push ourselves past the threshold, Spirit will hold us and carry us forward. But we've got to do that first hard work, And it may feel like the odds are against you. I think you're somebody that once you commit yourself to something, you go all in, and nothing will stop you. Okay, so this is that strength or that valor that you need to embrace in order to manifest your destiny. This is an intense ambition, right? This is it's kind of like, and maybe it feels right now that it's kind of like you against the world, or that you're fighting some overwhelming odds, that there's something heavy on top of you, and instead of just like lying there with this heavy thing on you, you're pushing it off of you. And maybe it's much heavier than you are strong, but you're pushing it off of you anyway, whatever it takes to pull yourself out of this, because we trust in this. We trust in the process. Okay. And I think that this card is really, there's kind of a relentless energy here, that we're just not going to quit. We love ourselves enough to never give up on ourselves, to never stop fighting for the good things that we want in our lives, that 6 of Cups, that feeling of togetherness or community or family. Okay. And so maybe this is you really fighting for the family. Okay. Or striving ahead against anything that might be in your way, pushing through any blockages so that you can achieve this deep desire of yours. Okay. Position 6 is the imago. It is the future event, the next steps, the immediate sort of, immediate future for you. And of course, it's the Hermit, right? Reveals the shape of your unfolding journey, where your path leads next. It may be that we have to step out into a form of independence, that we have to walk the lonely path if we're going to find this sense of community and togetherness and acceptance and love and pleasure. We're going to have to be willing to take the lonely road at first. Okay? Because I feel like we have to develop certain parts of ourselves that are going to, and some, how they say, like, you kind of have to love yourself first before you can love other people. I feel like we have to step into our own confidence, our own power, trust in our own guiding light, walk our own path, and we're going to come together with exactly what is meant for us. Okay? So it feels like the first thing we have to do is be willing to walk that lonely road, to be willing to sort of follow our own unique path forward rather than staying lingering here in the back with that Death card. Okay? So it may be that at first we're going to find ourselves being a little bit more kind of on our own. Yeah. And that's the first step toward finding, your community, finding your people, is to be willing to go out on your own and sort of build yourself up, develop yourself, and find the life that you seek. Right? What is it inside of you that is showing you the way to your goals? That is showing you that's guiding you to the life you seek. Okay. I think perhaps this is that kind of independence, that you're taking a chance going your own way. The hermit is the one that's going off trail, cutting your own way through the jungle, not walking the tried and true path. You're going your own path. You're doing your own sort of your own exploration here. Yeah. And it takes that courage of that Knight of Wands to leap into something that is, for now, seems kind of uncertain, kind of frightening. The hermit is the one that's venturing into the dark, scary forest. Okay? Takes courage, takes guts, takes trust in that higher power to step into the dark, scary forest. When you find yourself at the edge of a dark wood, the hermit will enter it and say, I know that this is where I've got to go in order to, to get the life I want. To really find what is meant for me, I've got to go through this doorway. This is a spiritual, dark, scary forest for you. And it may be that we really need that trust. We have to take the hand of the high priestess, because the high priestess may be saying, look, you've got to go to the lonely path in order to really find who you are, find why you're here, find all this wonderful spiritual energy on the other side. In order to get there, you have to go out on your own. You have to venture on your own here. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of in The Lion King, right? We're sort of mourning the loss of something, and eventually we feel empowered to then go start our journey. I don't know why I thought of The Lion King, I guess, whatever. But I feel like that's kind of the thing, and we have to understand that spirit is now arriving in your life that says, this, not if it's a spirit guide, ancestor energy, or this intuition, or whatever, however you experience this, it's coming into your life now and saying, it's time for you to get up and go boldly forward into the future. Okay? There's no time to linger here any longer. It's time to get moving forward. Now, nobody's telling you how to grieve or how long you should mourn. This is coming from inside of you. Okay? This is something that is appearing to you, making itself known to you interiorly, that says it's time to go forward and keep walking that path, right? Because by walking this path, you're sowing the seeds of that beautiful life that you want. And it's going to be a struggle. But this is worth it. You are worth it. The life you want is worth it. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, the Magician is the 7th card. It's the persona. This shows our mask. Well, it shows the idea of the mask, right? Because the Magician is the mask. The Magician is the persona in the position of the persona. So it's sort of asking, like, what is the face you need to put on right now? It's kind of like saying, we got to put on a brave face. What is the, who do you need to be right now in order to walk this path ahead, in order to build the life that you want? What is that aspect of yourself that you need to step into? What's the skill you need to learn? What are these skills? What are the qualities of the person that you need to be right now? Right? This is the card. You're someone who's very elastic. You're very adaptable. And the problem is that we sometimes adapt to a situation that we should, instead of adapt to it, we should change it. Right? And so I think that right now we're kind of stepping into I think it's really an Aries type of power, authority, confidence. Yeah. Because you have two Aries references here, by the way. The Knight of Wands and the Emperor are both Aries energies. So if I were you, I'd watch the Aries reading. I said the same thing to Taurus a moment ago, too, that everybody needs to watch the Aries reading this week. And I think that's kind of that's the face we need to put on. That's the mask. That's the costume that we need to wear right now in the greater theater of life. Because that's how we're going to most effectively manifest our reality. The magician is the one who understands the art and science of manifestation, knows how to channel the divine light from above, transmit it through us into the world around us, the transmitter of the light. It's so cool that you have the cards you have right now. The magician is the one who is allowing the starlight to flow through them and out into the world. Okay? And so we have to talk about the magician with the star, because the star is your soul, the star is spirit, the star is the universe, sending its light to you. And if we allow that light to enter us, okay, and we do that lonely, introspective work of the dark, scary forest, the long, lonely road, if we do the work of the hermit, that's us letting the light in and understanding how that light, when it enters us, is going to clear away blockages. It's going to illuminate areas that we need to do work. Knots of karma, buttons, weak spots, sore spots, triggers, the blockages, right? And once we're able to start doing that interior work, our light starts to shine out from us, right? Via the sun card. The light starts to shine out from us and illuminates the rest of the world. We become a lit candle. We become a beacon of light. Okay? And also, that light starts to show us our yellow brick road, the long and winding road of our future. Okay? Which is, and again, that's the sun card, right? So we turn ourselves on here. We start glowing. We start radiating this spiritual light. And of course, we're going to attract other radiant beings, and we're going to have our Six of Cups community kind of thing, our togetherness, right? But if we're a dark star, no one can find us. No one can see us. We have to let the world see us for who we really are. We've got to do this work, figure out what we have to let go of, what work we've got to do interiorly so that that light can start shining out from us. Well, that's the magician. The magician is the one who's allowing the light to come in and flows through us we are the clear channel, right? We are merely the messenger. We are the clear channel of that divine light that I'm trying to get rid of all my blockages so that my light can just shine and I can attract the right things to me. I can be a beacon of light, and the right people, places, and things will start showing up in my life. Okay? And the magician is the persona, the costume that we need to put on over that sun, over that radiant spiritual energy. And now it's shining forth from our persona. Okay? You can't just be the pure, blinding starlight, right? So don't look at the sun, right? You need to have some sort of filter on there. And that filter is obviously our persona, because we have to have an interface. The magician is the interface between our spiritual sun and the world around us. It's the transmitter of the light. Otherwise, the light will be blinding to everybody, right? So we filter it through a certain mask, a certain costume, a certain face, a certain persona, so that we can interact with people. So it's kind of like, who do we need to become right now? Well, I think you're becoming this very confident leader type of energy, this Aries kind of persona. I think that's really what you need to do right now to authentically and accurately radiate your light. And it may feel like a performance. It may feel like, well, it's just my persona. It's not authentic. Well, it is. The persona is part of you. It has grown out of you. It's something that we choose to wear. I mean, ideally, theoretically, we choose to wear it as a way to express our solar energy. And I think right now we're kind of choosing that Aries confidence, no hesitation, trusting in ourselves, trusting in our instinct, ready to leap forward, ready to get out there and do it, right? Whatever it is. And so the magician, again, is the one who can adapt to any situation or can change that situation. So that's something I want to adapt to, something I'm more willing to adapt to. And we have to understand this too, that we don't have to accept life as it is. We can change things a little bit. We can't control everything. We can't control our external world all that much, but to a certain degree we can. We can choose our reactions. We can choose our behaviors. We can choose the mask that we wear, how we interface with the world. We can choose those things. And doing that influences the world a little bit, and our magic works. We have a magic wand by which we can influence external events. We can cause change in conformity with our will. I think life is about to change big time for you because you are accepting your role as the magician, and whatever that looks like for you. I think it looks like an emperor, basically, right? So I feel that you're stepping up, you're taking charge, you're taking authority, you're assuming responsibility, and you're going boldly forward in your life. Now, the star card, like I said, it represents sort of that universal energy, the spiritual energy, the spiritual light. This is your soul, right? And this is your, I don't know, this is your star kind of, right? And everyone is a star. This kind of represents your spiritual self. And it's sending a light to you. Well, that light is the High Priestess. This is the light. This is where the light comes from, and this is the light. And if we follow that light, it illuminates the blockages inside of us. Now, the fact that this is the card in the position of your shadow, uncovering what is hidden within you, it's saying that this spiritual light is coming in, and if you allow it in, if you trust it, and you open up and you embrace that light coming from your own soul or from God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal energy, whatever. If we embrace that light, it's going to show us our shadow. It's going to show us where we've been hiding ourselves away. It will show us what we've been concealing from ourselves. So very often this is a process that's not all that fun. And that's the dark forest, right? Showing us things that we kind of need to clear out of the way, that we need to let go of. Blockages, knots of karma, right? The buttons, the triggers, the sore spots, the weak spots. Showing us those things, it's not always a pleasant experience. I think that's why this card is in the position of your shadow, because there are things happening in your environment as well that are letting you know that, hey, you really do want this. Okay? And, maybe that's something that's been a little bit hidden from you. The realization that, hey, I want to be a star in the company of other stars. I want to be a radiant sun in a group of radiant suns. I want to be a star system. I don't want to be just some lonely star, that maybe you were a binary star at one time and now you're not. But you realize that you need that companionship, you need that connection, you need that togetherness or that community. Okay. I think that the spiritual energy that's happening through events in your life. Okay, circumstances that are testing us, circumstances that are provoking us. Okay. How is Spirit putting certain people and places and things on your path that are challenging you to step up and be the emperor? Every day, really, right? If we really pay attention, every day we're bombarded with signs and symbols and synchronicities. If we choose to look at those, are they telling you a message? Are they giving you a little bit of a hint of where you need to be the boss, right? Where we need to step up and be that emperor, take accountability, take charge, be the leader, be the CEO of our own psyche, the leader of our own soul here, the captain, or well, at least the pilot of the ship, right? I always look at the emperor as the pilot of the ship. Not the captain, not the commander, but the one that's kind of, the one that's at the wheel. The one left turn, right turn, 5-degree down bubble. But taking orders from someone, from, spirit, from our own spirit, our own soul, from the guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, the spirit guide. So the emperor becomes the fortified ego that is controlling the ship, the body, controlling our life, right, our activities, our behaviors, but is taking orders from spirit, from the spiritual source, the spiritual energy. And I think that there are a great number of opportunities in every day where we can step up and do that. And do we shy away from challenges? Or do we step up and we say, okay, I'm the pilot of this boat. I'm going to step up to the challenge. Spirit's presenting me with another opportunity to step up, to suit up, show up, and to face the challenge. Okay. And doing that and realizing that is showing us places introspectively, right, interiorly, showing us things we need to work on where, okay, maybe I'm taking this challenge, I'm stepping up to the plate, maybe I'm getting my butt kicked. Okay, well, I realize now I got to maybe like work on my biceps or something a little bit, you know. We're wrestling with something and it exposes our weaknesses. It's almost like a martial art, like jujitsu or something. You start taking jujitsu, oh boy, it's going to show you where your weaknesses are, your sore spots, your weak spots, your knots of karma, okay? Because it's going to show you like, okay, I need to work on my balance. Wow, I didn't realize my balance was so bad. Or I got to work on my leg strength or my foot position or you know, my dexterity. I've got to work on I got to stretch more, you know. It's really going to expose our weaknesses, and we don't want to always see that. That's the star, right? So the star is every day there's an opportunity for you to do something challenging, having confidence and steering your boat in that direction, and then figuring out what your weaknesses are, okay? Exposing the weaknesses so that we can strengthen them. And so we can continue to make progress here. So the next card is the fear, worry, and concern. That's very interesting to get the star card in the obstacle position, our anxiety kind of position. And to me, it feels like there is a certain reluctance or a hesitation for us to be ourselves, for us to let people see the real version of ourselves, okay? There's kind of almost a fear of authenticity. And to me, it feels like we're afraid that we're not going to be valued for who we are. So with the persona and this sense of adaptability, do we find that we're changing our outfit in order to fit in with the group? I want people to like me, so I'm going to change my persona so that I can fit in and be more like them. I'm going to behave the way they want me to so that I can be loved. Because there's that fear of authenticity that says, if I go in and I'm just me, what if they don't like me? Well, then they're not for you, you know? So very often we put on the persona that we believe will help us fit in. And that's something we learn how to do, right? And it goes back to, caveman days, right? Where we want to fit in, we want to be supported and protected by the group. We need a sense of community. There's an innate desire, an innate need for community for us humans, right? At least most of us, I think. And so it's kind of built into us that I'm going to behave the way I think the group wants me to behave, so that I can have the acceptance of the group, and I can be included in that safety, and I can be one of them. I want to fit in, so I can be protected. And so I think that's another reason why we need to go the path of the hermit first, so that we can get in touch with our own authentic self and realize who we are, so that when I'm out here in the world facing other people and other challenges, I know what persona I can transform into and not lose sight of my authentic self, that I know where the boundary is, that I know where the mask ends and where the truly authentic and essential part of me begins. But I also have that boundary that kind of says, I'm going to be myself as much as possible, but I know that I also have to do things to fit into the group, a little bit at least, right? But knowing where that boundary is, And so I think with the sun in this position that we're afraid that we're not going to be accepted, like we said with the Six of Cups, right? Just being loved for who we are, right? And that might be the worry, the concern, that might be part of the fear here. Yeah. And it could be why we have to find that inner light and connect with it, right? And then understand how the persona fits on top of that in a way that still feels authentic and still feels like the correct thing to do, right? Position 10 is your destiny position. And this to me feels like you stepping into a leadership position. It feels like you're wearing that mask and it fits nice, And this is something that you're growing comfortable in being. You're not just conforming to what other people want you to be, how other people want you to behave so that you fit into the group. It's like you're leading the group. You're radiating your authenticity and your solar light through a persona of confidence and assertiveness and self-possession and stature and authority. And this is attracting the right people to you. You see? You're becoming the leader of the group. You're not just trying to fit in. You're saying, this is the group. And I can go my own way. I can be my authentic self. And the right people, places, and things, they will come to me and I will find them and we'll naturally find our way to each other. And I don't have to just find a group and say, okay, I need to put on the right clothes and go pretend I'm part of that group. It's like you're going to go to the bowling alley. I want to fit in with the people here at the bowling alley, so I got to put on the bowling shirt. I got to get the ball and the bag, and I got to wear the wrist guard and stuff. And I say, hey guys, I'm a bowler just like you. Can we be friends, right? And so we could see that it's kind of silly. I think we just go in and we be ourselves, and we'll naturally connect with people that we resonate with, without having to too severely alter our authentic thing. But the persona that we need, to me, feels like confidence, like that self-assertive energy that I am who I am, I'm comfortable who I am, I love who I am, and I'll find the right people that are going to vibe with me. Okay? So I think that, life is really changing for you in a big way. Let's uncover this mystery card together, shall we? This is position 11. This is the guide. This is the voice of your kind of higher soul, right? The voice of spirit. This is the message coming from spirit. And usually reveals a type of character quality we need to embrace or develop in order to walk the path ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more fire energy or more Aries type of energy. Could be a 6 of wands, maybe. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Okay, it's a King of Pentacles, a fixed earth energy. To me, this is somebody who is not willing to change, okay? This is somebody who's fixed in place, somebody that's been lingering somewhere too long, that life has gone on without them, that all of the great things have grown around them, and they're there. They're in the middle of it, but they're not really part of it. You can see all the vines and plants have overgrown that king sitting in that throne. Right? So this is a card that says we've been staying in place for too long. It's time to get moving. It's time to get changing. It's really an opposite energy of this. This is fixed earth. This is rushing fire. Yeah. So it really is like, this is kind of the thing. The message from Spirit is saying you've been stuck for too long. You've been staying in one place for too long. We've been lingering in this position for so long that life is going on without us. And we need to get a move on. We need to get up and we need to get active. We need to do the thing. Okay. Interesting that this is a Taurus reference as well. And in Taurus, there was a need to watch the Aries reading. And now for you, Gemini, there's the Taurus reference and the Aries reference. So we're kind of working our way backwards, right? Everything's connecting. So I'd watch the Aries and the Taurus reading if I were you. It seems like everything is in sequence today. But this is the realization that something needs to change. Letting us know that I've been staying the same for too long. That I've been stagnating. I've been sitting here for so long that the world, the kind of the plants, right, have started to take me over, and like I'm overgrown with all this energy. And it's like, wow, yeah, I haven't, it's kind of like that trope in movies where something hasn't moved in a long time because it's got cobwebs on it. It's kind of that, And we got to kind of dust the cobwebs off. It's like the vines, the nature, right, has just started to reclaim us. Okay, well, it means we need to We need to get up and do something. Yeah. So I think this is a good confirmation. And this is it's reinforcing the whole message here that it's time to move. It's time to jump into something new and trust that intuition. This is kind of we're sitting here now. We need to get up and we need to move forward. All right. Now, please let the message find your heart. Each card is a mirror. Each station is a temple of transformation, alternating between who you're becoming and the world you are creating. Remember that the tarot does not dictate your future. It reveals the patterns of possibility. It invites you to co-create your destiny. If this reading has illuminated your soul path, please share your reflections down below. Together we journey onward, ever upward and ever inward. And we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Gemini on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.